Well, you know college football's back because here I am right up until the start of this show just sitting there clicking refresh on Jalen Daniels on Twitter like a freaking loser, just getting news. Oh, he might start, he might not. They announced him. Bean's taking all the first-team warm-ups. Look, man, if you don't want to live that sweaty life of college football DFS, I get it. But if you want to know where the edge is, sweating this news up till the last minute is where it's at. You'll learn how to play the game, you'll learn how to have a process, and most importantly, you have a fucking contingency plan when shit like this goes awry. I have no idea what to do with Daniels or with Bean, but you know what I do know? That I'm excited that you're here. It's Friday night. My Sooners play tomorrow. Week 1 college football is here. Let's go. Let's go. Happy to have you guys. Glad you could join me on a Friday night. I'm glad you don't have any high school football. Maybe you're watching me from the stands of a football game. You're a true champion, sir. I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a DFS content creator who does PGA, college football, and NFL. You see that schedule right there over my shoulder? I will be coming at you all fall with that schedule every Friday night, 7 o'clock. Just plan your weekend around me because Friday and Saturday night, I'm doing these live streams, 7 o'clock. I give shit away. I'm not a poor. You need to know that. And I'm going to help you get better at DFS because DFS is hard. And if you think you could do it by just getting picks from your tout, that's why you always lose, you deposit king. So let's get going. So much to cover. If you haven't heard, the big guy, not a poor. I will be giving stuff away, but fortunately, I have a nice guy who is sponsoring tonight. Bury Me Loose. We had a bunch of winners last week, and he wanted to sponsor a giveaway. So we'll be giving away every 50 likes we get tonight. I'll be giving away a ticket that you can build with me, and I'll be giving one away for all of you that retweeted me over on Twitter. Okay, hang around till the end for that. Let's get going. The first thing we're always gonna check is Jalen Daniels playing? I'm kidding. Calm down. I'm still on tonight's slate, okay? I got a lot of money riding on that cash lineup. I put it in everything, Bob. All right, we're going to start with contest selection, dude, because this is the first place. We're looking at the big 14-game slate manana. That's tomorrow for all of you that are uncultured swine. All right, and the big contest tomorrow is divine. It is as good of a main contest you'll ever see, right? We have a $250,000 contest for the, what is it called? The Saturday Kickoff. Great name, DraftKings. Hope you spent all weekend thinking of that creative name. Only 20% to first, which in the main GPP, those big tournaments that they do, their flagship contest, that's as good as you're ever going to see, right? So when you get that, that's the one time. I don't think you should really ever play in the lottery if you're trying to be a sustainable DFS player, but if you're ever going to do it, you do it with that format. That's really good. Second place, only 40% of first. I like it to be half. And 10th place is 125th of first, which isn't bad either, right? So, you know, if you're going to be a donkey dick tomorrow, you're being a little less of a donkey dick. The 333, on the other hand, which I played in tonight, had a great structure, only 20% to first. Yet on this one, it's 33% to first. Polly, tell him. That means get the fuck out of here. I like the marching band, man. 16% to first. I can get on that one. $44 if you want to play that. This $4.20 max, though, this shit's the nuts. If you're wanting to play $80 tomorrow, the best $80 you could spend would be in this one right here. Hey, there's my boy Mosley. Go give me them yards, you Mosley motherfather. All right, sorry. You're going to be hearing a lot of announcing, all right? I know we're live, but, like, I got money riding on this, and I need Mosley to get his ass going. So, anyways, we have this is just a really good contest. Put your $80 in that. That'd be the best thing you could do. If that's too much for you, check out the $1. They have the $6 red shirt, right? Which means I think you have to wait till next year to play that one, ironically. The $5 single entry, man, there's just so many good contests. If I could just tell you one thing, right? The best thing you could possibly do to sustain your money at college football is diversify your portfolio. And by that, I mean get into head-to-heads, get into double-ups, get into 50-50s, and play in single entry or 3 max or 20 max contests where you're not spamming through all your money, because even when you have a really good core, I had a really good core of players last night in my GPP lineups, and I just didn't have the right lineup. So you still lose like 60% of your money even when you have a good core, because all it takes is one asshole in every lineup, and now you're just barely min cashing, right? So really think about diversifying your portfolio. Make DFS sustainable and fun, and quit trying to chase the big hit every week, because that's why you blow through all your money by October and you're like, what do I do now? Well, you quit playing a donkey dick contest. That's what you do, bro. But of course, the one contest you should be in is mine. Go get in it right now. We bumped it up to 300 people. It didn't even fill last week, you donkeys. So go get it filled. 300 people. It is a reduced rate contest. It is a flat payout structure, and it is part of my community. And because I was sitting here sweating Jalen Daniels news, I did not post the winners. I'm pretty sure it was my dude B. Bilkey. So winning that contest, flying the flag, I appreciate you, you motherfather. Go reserve your seats now. $5 3 max. Don't be a poor. If you're only going to play in one GPP, it better be in this. If not, don't fucking talk to me, okay? One more thing. I'm telling you, look, once again, I'm not rich, but I am not a poor. And I can afford the $18 a year to give you guys the very best weather. And I think this is an important note. I'm not going to talk about the weather for all 14 games tomorrow on the main slate because, well, I don't want to be here all fucking night. But here's what I can tell you. Not checking the weather before games can have a big impact. Part of the reason I was pretty cool on this Hawaii game tonight and why you're seeing the line drop is like, look at these winds right here. It's like 20 mile an hour sustained with 35 mile an hour gust. Schrager can barely throw the ball 15 yards as is. If he has to throw into the wind, that ball ain't going to make it 7 yards, okay? So always be checking the weather. This Miami game, it's a little sloppy out there. The running backs are not getting as much. They're not getting planted as well, right? Arizona State had like a 17-hour delay last night. I think these are things you're going to want to know, right? Still throwing to my guy. Terrible pass. All right, so that's my point, right? Just check your weather. It is an important thing to do. Of course, if you're just over at my site, we do it for you, okay? Because, we're losers like that. All right, building lineups. Are you building your lineups? Because if you're building your lineups and you're not using an optimizer with good projections, I'm going to go on a little tangent here and preach, okay? The people came here to hear me preach tonight, all right? And here it is. Here is me preaching. I'm going to preach this. Everybody gets caught up in whenever they play DFS, they want the 2 Ps, right? What are the 2 Ps? The 2 Ps are picks and plays. I need to go search picks and plays. I need my picks and plays for my tout because I'm a fucking moron. That's why you lose, okay? The funny thing is that when you talk about DFS and the key to DFS, it really does come down to the 2 Ps, just not the 2 Ps you're thinking of. The 2 Ps that make you successful at DFS are projections. You need to have a good baseline projection. You need to know who's going to play, who's going to be getting the usage, and who is going to have a chance to be successful, right? But that's only one of the Ps. The other P, the more important P, is those projections go into being part of your process. If you're not building a process on how you evaluate guys, how you build your teams, how you build your player pool, what contest you enter, you've already lost. All this is about is getting good projections, using your process, not someone else's process, your process, improving on it weekly, getting yourself into good situations, and eventually you can be a break-even player and do it long enough, you'll eventually hit that monster, and that is how you can be a winning player at DFS. If you think anybody is grinding out wins every week, you are a delusional fool, all right? I have a very, very good process. I've been doing it a very, very long time. I have very good projections. Me and my team spend endless hours working on these. So I know they're good. And once you have those 2 things in place, you can become a break-even player and hopefully eventually a big-time winning player once you get that big hit, right? Anybody who's selling you picks and projections and screenshots, you fucking run for the hills because that is not where it's at. It is about projections and it is about the process. Focus on the right Ps and not the wrong Ps. By the way, if you see that right there, that is the optimizer called the Solver, the best optimizer out there. And you see right there, Degenerate 75, those are my projections and my ownership in there, not someone else's, mine. I post it for every slate for college football, NFL, and PGA. If you want those, if you want access to the Solver and all my projections preloaded, you simply just got to go right over here and sign up using that little landing page, Showdown Hoedown, right? And you can get all my sports for just $39.99 a month, which for an optimizer, if you're not used to the optimizer world, that is a steal of a deal. I encourage you to sign up. Everybody's signing up. I couldn't even imagine making college football lineups without an optimizer. If you're making 20 college football lineups by hand, God bless your soul. I mean, you're probably making terrible lineups, but regardless, God bless your soul. God bless your soul, you little man. You're a champion, okay? All right, let's get to the slate. Gotta have to pick up the pace. So this is going to be a long-ass show. A long-ass show. Don't forget to hit the like. We got to get every 50 likes. I'm going to be giving away a ticket, so get in there, you effing tryhards. All right, we're breaking down the main slate tomorrow. By the way, if you're like, hey, man, what the hell's that? Well, that is the Rosetta Stone right there. That is what I use for all my members over at Degen 75. Theirs, of course, looks a little bit prettier, right? Here is tonight. See, it's all colored up. Projections, points per dollar, optimal rate, the player projections, the ownership, everything you need. You get the boring YouTube version, and you're going to like it, pal. All right, this first game, we're just going to go through them. I'm only going to touch on a couple guys because I really want this to be more about answering your questions and giving you everything you need to know for the slate tomorrow, okay? So give me about 10 or 15 minutes to run through this 14-game slate. Then I will answer all your questions, and we will get the hell out of here so I can go tilt balls over Jalen Daniels going for 40 points when I pulled him last minute, okay? All right. First up, we have NIU, who has the dumbest coach in America. That guy, he fell off. I mean, he must have hit his head 3 times as a child. He is dumb as fuck. All right, they have Rocky Lombardi returning, who is a solid quarterback. I will say that, but this is a game that BC is not a great school, right? If a MAC school is ever going to compete with, a Power 5 school, BC would probably be the one, right? This game could sneaky have some guys that get there, but the problem is we don't really know outside of Lombardi who is going to get any of the targets, the market share for NIU. They have a split backfield. They spread it out to their receivers. I think Rook Heiwitz is projected really high at a stone minimum. Might be worth a punt if you're playing some GPPs. Am I right? Or am I right? From there, Boston College, they're just always Boston College, right? They've ever had one good player in the last 10 years. It was Zay Flowers. Now he's gone. I will say Ryan O'Keefe is the transfer from UCF. He could possibly take over that Zay Flowers role. If they did like they did last year and they only throw the ball to one player, well, then I think Ryan O'Keefe is probably going to be that guy. So maybe this is a game you just go get a little correlated action, a couple receivers, and go from there. This Virginia-Tennessee game, well, you're probably thinking, ooh, Tennessee shootout. Let me just tell you, they don't have a naked hooker running the quarterback anymore, okay? Now they got a guy named Joe Milton III, all right? And the third actually stands for third gear because that's as fast as he ever goes. He's slower than shit. Virginia, not good. You want the long answer? Terrible. Okay, they're just not good team. I looked for somebody to try to tell you to play. Maybe this Malik Washington is a viable play as a punt wide receiver, but Jesus, the best advice I could ever give you, when a team has a 14-point total, just avoid them, and that will save you so much time, right? Outside of playing like a $3,000 wide receiver who gets 10 targets, just avoid them. Your life will be so much better, I promise, okay? For Tennessee, you're probably thinking, ooh, let's go Tennessee. All right, well, Tennessee was the ultimate DFS team last year, right? You had Hendon Hooker, who was incredibly talented, incredibly efficient. You had a fast offense who scored, I believe, 9 million points a game, right? But I have to tell you, Joe Milton is no naked hooker, okay? Now, will they be good? Yes, but they will not be as good as last year. We have Wright and Small still in the backfield, probably expecting about a 50-50 split, maybe 55-45, much like we saw last year with Wright as the slight leader. From there, they got three top receivers, right? They have McCoy, they have Brew McCoy, they have Keaton, and they have White, right? Old Squirrel White. And all three of those guys, if you want the truth, they're all underpriced. But here's the problem. You're going to try to jam one of those three guys in your lineup, and I can assure you that one of those guys is not going to have a good game. I think in GPPs, you want to be mixing and matching all three of these guys because one of these guys is likely to have a monster game and break the slate tomorrow. Do I know which one? No, I don't. But I know that they are all an incredible value, and you should be looking them over, right? Moving on to the next game, Colorado. If you don't know, Deion Sanders is the coach there, okay? And his son is the quarterback. And he was okay last year playing against, like, high school kids, all right? But now he is playing against TCU, a team coming off of a national title appearance. He might be that good of an athlete that he can get out there. They do have a ton of transfers. Weaver and Horn came over from Southern Florida. You have Travis Hunter, who was the number one player in the country 2 years ago, who is likely to play both ways and get some reps at wide receiver. And I've heard rumors that he could be the number one receiver. But, man, they got a 21-point total at TCU. TCU's got some boys that Colorado ain't got. I promise you, okay? For TCU, maybe I'm a little biased here, rocking the OU cap, but their quarterback this year is Chandler Morris. Never forget, Chandler Morris was their starter last year until he got hurt, and Max Duggan stole the spot and never gave it back. He pipped his ass, right? And Chandler Morris is really good. I think he's a really good quarterback, and I think you should definitely be considering him in all formats, right? I don't know what to make of this TCU team, but I know that guy is underpriced. For some reason, his price isn't showing up on my damn stone right now, but I'm pretty sure he's $6,700, which is an incredible price for a quarterback that can get it done with a big total, his arm, and his legs. From there, we no longer have Kendre Miller and that other guy with the weird last name backing him up. We don't know what the backfield's going to look like, but it appears though Bailey's probably going to get the first crack at it. But they do have Trey Sanders, who transferred from Alabama, who could win that. We don't know. Savion Williams, probably their biggest returning name that they have. But, if I know anything about TCU, hell, even when they had Quentin Johnson, those guys, they love to spread the ball around, right? So I don't think you're going to see all of the usage fall into any one receiver's hands. Arkansas State, once again, when a team has an 11-point total, if you have an 11-point total against OU's defense, first of all, let me just tell you, you must really suck donkey dick, okay? Because OU's they give up them points, all right? We don't believe in the defense here in the great Panhandle State. I don't even think that's what we're called. So let's get to OU. Dylan Gabriel at 9,100. I think he offers you an incredibly safe floor, but I don't think that he has the ceiling that you're going to want to chase in GPPs. There's just no way he's ever going to get to 40 points tomorrow before he gets pulled. He doesn't offer the rushing upside, so he'd legit have to throw for 5 or 6 touchdowns to get to 40 points. I don't think that's likely. The running back room is a mess. Javonte Barnes and Gavin Sawchuk were the likely starters heading into this year, both coming off of strong finishes to the end of their freshman year. But Towie Walker and Marcus Major Marcus Major were named the co-starters. And so I think you're going to just see a big running back by committee for this first game as OU tries to figure out what the running game is. At wide receiver, Jalil Farouk and Stoops are the two biggest names that are returning. But I will tell you, Andrel Anthony is the transfer coming in from Michigan, and I think that he is actually the sneakiest play to have a breakout game tomorrow for the Sooners. If you're wanting a Sooners punt, problem is most of the Sooners are priced up, and there's going to be a lot of spreading the love around everybody, a lot of mouths to feed at OU, and most importantly, I don't think there's any chance you're going to see the starters in the fourth quarter. Moving on, Ball State, another really long answer for you. They're fucking terrible. There you go. That's the real long answer. Real long. And there's just literally no one you can play from them, right? They're downright unplayable. Kentucky, on the other hand, let's not forget, Kentucky's got their old OC back. What is that, Longo? And he is back. And they have Devin Leary, the transfer quarterback from NC State. I think that this could be a sneaky good offense this year. I wish they were playing a team that could push them a little bit, because it would not surprise me if you see UK drop 35. I mean, hell, their implied total's 37, so 42 wouldn't surprise me, right? If Ball State pushes them at all, UK could be a slate breaker type team tomorrow, right? Ray Davis is going to be their bell cow back, and I would tell you to play him in some GPPs. Hey, there's my boy Mosley just fucking dropping a catch. But here's what I'll warn you. I do want to tell you there are other running backs on this slate that are better values than him, but Ray Davis is going to be the dude there in Kentucky. Lastly, at receiver, I think that Brown and Robinson are probably the most likely to see this increase in the passing game. I would be checking them out. I think that if they're going to score 42 points, you got to imagine those guys are going to get their slice of the pie. From there, we have Utah State, Cooper Lagasse. Once again, they have a 10-point team total. Do I even need to talk about them? Just fade them. Just don't play them. All right. I just won you a lot of money at DFS by helping you not lose all that money by playing these donkey dicks, right? But Iowa, on the other hand, this might be the first time Iowa actually has a functional offense, right? And I think it's worth checking Iowa out. First of all, they have Cade McNamara coming over. They have Eric All, both the big tight end, both of them transfers from Michigan, right? So probably a bit of a talent upgrade. Johnson and Williams are going to be splitting the backfield, but we know Iowa loves to run the ball, and they're probably going to be able to run it down the throat of our boys over at Utah State. And then at wide receiver, what do they ever have? They're always going to have 5 guys. They're going to have 5 guys get 5 catches for 50 yards. That's every Iowa receiver ever. So if you want to play them, go ahead. I would say Reganey and Lachey are probably the two most likely. But once again, I'm probably playing McNamara or the running backs from there. And if I did want to stack McNamara, give me the Eric Hall. Give me the big white stiff tight end. ECU and Michigan, let me just go ahead and tell you, this ain't the ECU from last year, right? We don't got Ehlers anymore. We don't have all the badass receivers that they had. This is a shell of the old ECU. Playing at Michigan to open the season is just a terrible spot for them. A 7.8 total is as bad as you could possibly have. So, once again, I'm going to just save you more money. Don't play anybody from there. Michigan. J.J. McCarthy is a Heisman front runner early on. What are we doing, right? The running backs, the best running back tandem in America, bar none. Corum and Edwards are probably both top 5 running backs in the nation, and they're in the same backfield. They are both incredibly priced, $6,900, nice, and $6,200, incredibly priced for the talent that they offer. And honestly, I bet they both get 20 points. The problem is when they're splitting those carries and there's a blowout potential, I don't think either of them really has the ability to break the slate unless they break 2 really long runs, right? So I'm thinking something like, they probably get both in that 20 to 25 point range, which is a very, very nice game, but they kind of kill your upside. From there, wide receiver, the wide receiver room is a little confusing. I would guess Cornelius Johnson is going to be the leader, and Roman Wilson is probably the one with the biggest upside. But once again, we don't know what Michigan's wide receiver room is going to be yet, so we have a lot to see. Mercer, just terrible. Don't play Mercer, okay? You don't even know where Mercer's at. I could tell you Mercer's in Maine. You'd be like, yeah, I knew that. I'm like, bro, it's not in Maine. Somebody told me today. What state's it in? It's somewhere in the South. It surprised me. I don't know. Arkansas told me. What are you going to do? However, Mississippi they have a good offense, and they got better players, and they're playing a shitty team. We call that the Holy Trinity, okay? And the weirdest thing is Spencer Sanders, from my alumni, Oklahoma State, just decided to transfer where Jackson Dart was. Jackson Dart had a great season last year, and Spencer Sanders says, hey, why don't I use my last year of eligibility to go back somebody up? What the fuck are we doing? So I have to imagine he's going to get some run. He is going to be used somehow. It will be Jackson Dart starting, but I do think you're going to see Spencer Sanders. Probably the most smash play on the entire slate is my boy Jukins, Quishon Jukins. I mean, he was a beast last year when he was splitting carries with Evans, right? Now he has the whole backfield to himself. He's a year stronger. He's a year bigger. Oh, and he's playing slappies. That guy is an auto play. Wide receiver, you have Trey Harris. He is the transfer from Law Tech. You have Zachariah Franklin, who I believe is out. So do not play Zachariah Franklin until you get some injury news on him. Old Zachariah is the transfer from, what is that, UTSA, right? Him and Cephas and all those guys. We played the shit out of those guys last year. And don't forget Prescorn. It'd be a crime if I didn't say him. He transferred from Middle Tennessee State? I don't remember. Sue me. And, of course, Michael Trigg is supposed to finally be back this year and have the breakout, so maybe consider him, all right? Portland State is playing Oregon. No chance I'm touching Portland State. And just like all those other teams, just don't play them, pal. Oregon, on the other hand, is a bit different. Bo Nix is 10,100. I think a lot of people are just instantly going to say, you can't pay that much for him. That's too much. It's too much. And here's what I'd say. Look at the first two slates of the year. What have we seen? The first slate, we had Caleb Williams at 9,900. He got pulled after 3 quarters, and he still got like 35 points, right? Last night, on the Thursday night slate, we had Miles Plumlee, who was at 10,600. Can't play him. That's too expensive. Dude got like 40 points. Okay? Some guys are just so damn good they can get there for you, and that might just be Bo Nix this week, right? I know he probably doesn't have the upside in a GPP, but I still think he's cash viable even at 10,100 because he gets so much done with his legs, and you know they're going to score 42 points before they pull his ass. If he accounts for 4 or 5 of those touchdowns, he probably is going to be in an optimal type cash lineup, right? The running back situation, same as last year. We have Whittington and Irving, who both seem to get a lot of carries and yet never seem to carry the ball at all. I could never figure out those guys. You watch him, you're like, man, that guy never plays. And then in the game, they always have 18 points. You're like, how the hell did that happen? Wide receiver, same cats from last year. Franklin, Hudson are probably going to lead that wide receiver room. But if you know anything about Oregon, trying to stack Bo Nix with anybody is a pain in the ass because that team loves to spread the ball around, right? All right, Rice and UT. Rice is, well, they're not good, Bob. 12-point total. Long story short, if you're going to play anybody, I think Luke McCaffrey's the play. But at 7,100, he's almost unplayable for a team that only has a 12-point total, right? You're basically needing him to get 8 catches and, 80 yards and a touchdown to probably pay off that price. Sorry, I'm watching Miami over here. Some dude just rumbling around the edge. UT, they have one problem called their quarterback sucks. Quinn Ewers is garbage. I will stand by that statement. However, the rest of their team is pretty incredible. Their offensive line is stacked. Their entire defense is stacked. Jonathan Brooks is a former 5-star running back who now has the backfield to himself now that Roschon and Degen are gone. At wide receiver, you have Worthy, Whittington, and Sanders all back. But don't forget, they added Adon Mitchell. From Georgia, who started to break out a little bit last year and is supposed to be all the buzz at Texas. So if you want a breakout candidate at Texas, maybe consider my boy Mitchell, all right? From there, Boise State, Washington, this could be a great game. If Boise State can somehow find a way to push Washington, this could be a nut-type game, right? Boise State has a returning starter at quarterback in Taylon Green. Holani is a very, very serviceable running back, and they have all the receivers back in Caples, Bowens, and Cobbs, although I think I just saw today that Caples is out for the season, so that is really big news. So monitor that because if I remember correctly, he was definitely their best receiver last year. Washington, another team that just returned all their stars. Penix is back, likely to make a Heisman run. His 3 top receivers of Undunes, McMillan, and Polk are all back. They will be passing the ball all over the place. Penix offers you no rushing upside, but he's almost a lock to get you 300 passing yards and probably 3 or 4 touchdowns against Boise State. If Boise State can push them in this game, this could be an awesome game to get a piece of, right? What do we got? 2 more games? 3 more? Golly, I have a lot of freaking games on this slate, bruh. Ohio State, they're going to be splitting time at quarterback. McCord won the quarterback duel, but they're going to be splitting it, so I don't think you can play Ohio State quarterbacks, especially at the prices they're at. Mayim Williams and Travion Henderson are still splitting the backfield. At those price tags, I don't think you can play him. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. is definitively the best wide receiver in the country, and honestly, Emeka Buka might be the second best wide receiver in the country, but at those price tags and all the talent they have in the wide receiver room and the blowout potential, you got to ask yourself, can all those guys get there? And the answer is most likely no. Probably 1 or 2 of them is going to get there, but not all of them are going to get there, right? Indiana, this ain't the Indiana from a few years ago where they had a decent offense and Kevin Wilson was calling plays. They're kind of garbage now, right? You can just look at their projections there. I mean, these are don't read too much into these projections. These are just the base projections. So, here's what I'll tell you. Just don't play Indiana, right? I mean, maybe you want to have one run back. If they had Camper or something, you could run him back against Ohio State stack, but I don't even think Ohio State's stackable with their quarterback situation, right? Buffalo and Wisconsin, let's see. Buffalo is bad. 13-point total, nothing great. You just can't love this against Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin is going to be awesome. Braylon Allen at running back, you know how good he is, and now they have a staff that might actually know how to use him this year. You have Tanner Mordecai, who is going to be, I think, a very serviceable quarterback. By the way, another OU transfer. And then a wide receiver, they are going to pass the ball this year more at Wisconsin, and because of that, I think you're going to see DK and Bell really get an uptick in their their usage, and they become very viable plays, right? From there, the last game, we have Tennessee State and Notre Dame. We've already seen Notre Dame this year. And oh my God, Michigan State's going to lose to Central Michigan. This is awesome. Tennessee State is terrible, right? Terrible. And we've already seen Notre Dame. They looked pretty good. Sam Hartman is good. I will say Estime got like the whole backfield to himself. If that's going to continue to be a thing, I think you almost always got to play him because he was serviceable last year and they were running 3 of them out there. You're going to give him the whole backfield to himself. I think he's very playable. Problem is, there's very, very little chance he's going to see more than 15 to 16 touches. He's probably going to have to be very, very efficient, get you 2 touchdowns, a 100-yard bonus on all of that. To pay that off. Tennessee State, no chance they're going to push Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to absolutely suffocate this team. So because of that, I think you got to be a little hesitant about playing some of these guys in GPPs because they just don't offer you the upside that you would get elsewhere. All right, let's get to the drawing, but before we do, go check out my site, Degen75.com, college football DFS. I do a stone for every single one of these for NFL college football showdown. Look at this, baby. Look at that, everything, and it's only going to get better as we add rushing attempts, as we add targets, as we have percentage of plays. It's just going to grow where we start to have more and more data. This is what the real one looks like, not the shitty one that I showed you guys. Oh, yeah, and of course we have winner. Look at my dude up here, DC, winning $90,000 last week, flying the flag. L Franchise winning $18,000. Winning for you, flying the flag at $2,500. Sexual Truck at $1,250. LMO $813. JT Cap, Striker, R. Lear. It's just a great week. This is every week we post these. Wait till next week for the NFL one. I'm going to do an end of the like an all golf one, and it's going to be insane how much we won. I think it's around 3.5 million that people on the site have won just in screenshots, right? And, of course, make sure you like and subscribe, right? If we can get up to 100 likes over here, we will do a second drawing. But for now, I'm going to draw for the people from the retweets. This is everybody who retweeted me on Twitter. We'll be doing that every Thursday and Friday, so do that, and I'll get you on this wheel. This is to build a lineup with me in the main contest tomorrow, and our winner is Hannah. There you go, Hannah. Me and you, we're building the lineup, sister. And editor, over here in the chat, for the people who've been chatting for me, please draw a name for the winner to build a lineup with me tomorrow on that main slate. Sorry, I'm watching Miami. You better run, bruh. 3rd and 10. All right, Miami sucks. Bad play. All right, Beat Boss. Don't recognize the name. Glad to build a lineup with you, bruh. Let's get it going, all right? So, hey, reach out to me on Twitter. Reach out to me on, what's the other one? Twitter or on the Discord if you're over on the Discord, okay? I'm going to get over to questions, and then I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to go tilt my balls about the Kansas line, right? All right, let's see. New guy in the back. Get a clue. That's right. He's a Texas fan, too, so you know he's a real piece of shit, Mark. All right, let's get the stone back up real quick. Let's go. Keep the Kansas quarterback watching the stream. Tweet, time to sweat. Yeah, no kidding. Time to sweet. College football chaos in full effect. I mean, we didn't even make it to week 1, and we already had the full chaos of what do we do at quarterback, T-Swen. I live for it, right? I couldn't do it every night like they do for those NBA tryhards, but what I can tell you, I can do it once a week for college football. I kind of enjoy it. I don't think he got it. I think he's short. Oh, okay. Let's see. Moving on. Nick, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. I hope you kick some ass tonight. Where else would you rather be on a Friday night but with the big guy? Nick said it best. There's my girl, Hannah, winning. Utah beating the shit out of those Gators. Hannah, I got to tell you, I was cheering for you because you know what? Fuck Florida. There you go. That's the long answer. All right, H-Shot Red Zone here. NC Akasol will tell you you're missing. Okay, Akasol knows everything about the state of North Carolina. Everything. Let's see. Oh, everybody from from Michigan State catching a pass except my guy. Let's go. Glad to be here, Joanne. Glad to have you. Jeff, pedal to the metal, Levy. Yeah, I think so. I think that OU is really going to want to play fast. Problem is, there's just zero chance Arkansas State's going to push them, and I think OU really wants to establish the run game this year. So I'm a little hesitant on their passing game this week one. I think it'll get there. Got any college football donkey chalk? Yeah, I mean, I haven't even done ownership yet, but like if I were to look at tonight's, like some guys to me that were just going to be donkey chalk were going to be, probably somebody like, I'm trying to think who people were playing tonight. Maybe Haynes King at 22%. What the fuck ever. Guy's named after underwear. Okay. Are we playing Rory tomorrow? I wouldn't. A good rule of thumb, never play Rory. It's done me pretty good. Oh, look at this quarterback just dropping dimes. I guess Mosley got benched because he can't catch. What a whore. All right. Damn, Bean started. Oh, Bean did start? Wow. Bean taking the snap. Oh, man. All right. Neil TD, no Daniels. Wow, that's crazy. All right, at least I played Neil. Hopefully Schrager just scores somewhere close to Bean and I can break even. I did get, I got an early touchdown from my dude at Miami, so maybe that'll help offset some stuff. Looks like it's going to be a slow-scoring night. None of these teams look like they're interested in scoring points tonight. Do you have a basic college football process and archives for college football newbies? Yeah, I did that Q&A, Brian, where I answered everybody's questions. I would say start there, and if you have other questions, just reach out to me. I'll see what I can do to maybe put something together for people, right? I think it's a lot like NFL, right? I think the biggest difference is like you're just kind of having to sweat like bullshit news because these teams have so many more players than NFL players that they'll bench guys for a quarter for being late to a meeting. That rarely happens in the NFL, right? Oh, man, Michigan State just going right down the field. Just out and ups all day long. All right, the Stone Rock won my first 2 slates of college football. Mike, love to hear it. I saw you winning some cash lineups yesterday, you motherfather. Are we going to ship our joint lineup? I sure hope so. Rattler or May tomorrow? Go Cox. Well, I mean, you should know. Spencer Rattler sucks. There's the answer, Bob. That other guy. That's not Berger. Berger not scoring touchdowns. Glad I got off that guy. How many pivots from a cash lineup do you usually make for your single entry? I honest to God, I did a single entry night. I just put my cash lineup in there. It's like it's amazing. Like the lineup that won the 7-person train that won the main last night was basically just a cash lineup. Sometimes just playing the best plays at college football can get you pretty far, Bob. How long before Arch Manning starts? Probably 5 years because that guy sucks. I think that Ewers is bad. I think that Manning's going to be worse. That's my take. All right, what's your standard player pool size for a 20 max in college football? I'm really trying to dial that in right now, Go Collect. I don't have a great answer. I would say right now I'm probably trying to play about 4 quarterbacks, which may sound like a lot for 20 lineups, but you got to remember I'm putting 2 of those on all my lineups because of the super flex, right? I usually like about 6 running backs, and then where I really like to pepper, or where I really like to splash around a little bit is at the wide receiver position, because that is the position of the greatest volatility in college football DFS, right? This is now called punch in the throat. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. I can't believe Bean started. I really liked my lineup with Bean in there, too, that motherfather. What are you going to do? Underwear, man, pass TD. Haynes. I shouldn't have shit on him. Just like those underwear. All right. Jacardi Wright appears to be going backwards. Jacardi Wright. Oh, he got the negative points, Ben. I don't even know if I played him. I might have played him. I can't remember what I ended up changing him to. I think I ended up saying, let's not punt on this guy that I don't know anything about. All right, guys, that looks like all the questions. I appreciate you being here. Next Saturday, we will start doing the NFL stream. Be here next Friday for this stream. I'm going to do it. You need to be here. I will continue to give shit away. Make sure to drop a like. Make sure to tell a friend. And most importantly, make sure to come over and check out Degen75. It is the fastest growing community in college football DFS and PGA DFS. That I can fucking assure you. All right, guys, it's been real, but I got to run. I hope you enjoy this outro.